recognize myself for 5 minutes. Thank you all again for being here. I really appreciate it. I want to understand a little bit about regulation. Am I assuming, Mr. Miller, without regulation from the FDA right now, is there any way for the average consumer to verify the ingredients?
As both Rich and I mentioned in our testimony, there is a self-regulating organization called the U.S. Hemp Authority that provides a certificate for manufacturers who go through an intensive process of good manufacturing practices, truth in labeling, and they put on
So
the
as
label.
consumers, we should look for that.
Yeah, I would
or
look
that
for
would be
the U.S. Hemp Authority label. Some states have also stepped into the breach and have come up with good regulatory structure.
If there's a consequence, meaning I have a CBD product and I say it's X and it's less than X or unfortunately more than X, whatever it may be, is there any consequence to my action if I falsify what's in the ingredients?
In some states, there is some regulatory ability to do that, but the vast majority of products, there is no
Not real
enforcement.
enforcement,
No.
so to speak. Okay. I'm curious how this has affected the private sector's ability to participate in marketing a product that was legalized in the 2018 Farm Bill.
Yeah, I mean, it's devastated our industry, and it has imposed tremendous burdens because of this lack of regulatory authority.
Hence, you showed us that slide at the very beginning of the opening. The only one I think you said that was profitable was the flour.
Yeah, the flour that's converted into delta-8 THC, which we've mentioned, has
And
been,
that's very dangerous, right?
it can be dangerous. It certainly is if it's manufactured improperly and if it's sold to children.
And there's no regulation on that as of
No,
current.
no
Okay.
regulation at all.
Has the FDA been receptive to efforts from private sectors to have their products regulated?
No, the FDA meets with us, the industry, about once a year. There are always listening sessions, so we do the talking and they do the listening.
So just to be clear, this is private industry petitioning for more regulation.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like cats and dogs living together.
I know.
Okay.
We're begging.
Can you explain why regulations in this instance, can you explain why regulations in this instance would not help industry? If we didn't regulate it, would it help industry?
No. Regulation will help industry because it would help stabilize the markets. These big box stores and big food companies would start carrying their products. The prices would go up, and it would give consumers a lot more confidence that these products are safe. Right now, they're taking a risk in buying them. So regulation would be really good for business.
Okay, so it's good for business. It helps protect children. It was instituted in the 2018 Farm Bill. Yet the FDA has slow-walked, maybe not even at all, done any sort of regulation on this?
Yeah, they. Oh, go ahead.
I'm correct.
Yeah, correct.
I just find that ironic that we give this agency money, authority, and they can't do their job. I would love to come into work and say, you know what, if you just paid me a little bit more, I'll go to a few more hearings, I'll take a few more votes. It just doesn't work like that, right? I'm sure the average American would love to do that. Do the job you were signed up to do. I mean, I'm almost on the opposite. I think we should start rescinding dollars until people actually start doing the job they signed up to do and stop with the excuses. It drives me crazy. I often wonder, Mr. Miller, I'm just curious, it's my understanding, and I could be wrong, that the FDA has not returned to its pre-pandemic telework policy. Is that correct?
I'm unaware of their policies.
Anybody have any data on that? The data I show is they haven't returned back to work 100%. Do you believe that the failure to work in person may be contributing to this?
Yeah, I wouldn't comment because this has been a running problem since before the pandemic hit.
Yeah, perhaps if we just went back to work, we would have more hours in the day to do the job that we signed up to do. What are the concrete steps that the FDA can immediately do to engage to take this more seriously? If you could have a wish list, what could the FDA do right now
Well, the first thing is they could immediately start regulating these products as dietary supplements and food and beverage additives.
And they have the authority to do that?
We believe they have the authority to do
I do
that.
too.
Now, they would like to have an additional set of regulations on top of those, and we're not opposed to that. And so the next best thing they can do is to define very specifically what that regulatory structure would look like, so to aid Congress in developing a regulatory regime.
Very good.